I know my channel originally started as me just reviewing random video games that I played. The next one's probably going to be this, even though I absolutely despise this game. I may actually not even unwrap it and just sell it for a fortune one day. Xenoblade X Definitive Edition. But I do have this here for a reason. So the reason being is Nintendo has decided that it's going to charge $90 for an 8-year-old game. So it's going to be $69, $10 more than they charged 8 years ago when the game came out. And now they're going to bill you for the DLC that you already bought. I didn't read 100% of this article. I don't know if you have the original DLC, and I probably should have looked into this. But even so, if you have the original DLC, is it going to port over, or are you going to have to buy it again? I don't know. I don't know the question to that or the answer to that. But this is absolutely ridiculous. This is an 8-year-old game. And the reason I have this over here, this definitive edition, is because it was $59.99, and it comes with all the DLC that came out with this game when it was released. This game, I had it on Wii U. It was $59. Actually, I had the special edition, so I forget how much that was. I do know it sold for quite a bit, but the original game was $59.99. Then you had to pay for the DLC, but you get it on here. Now, this 8-year-old game, Breath of the Wild, which they sold a ton of. I don't know how many new customers for this game that they're going to have, especially at $90. But it's setting a precedent that is absolutely ridiculous. And then even more ridiculous is the fact that technically you don't actually own the game, as it were. As Ubisoft is pointing out quite brazenly, that Ubisoft is stating that in a lawsuit, the gamers don't actually own the games they purchase. They are purchasing a license to access them. So, why can they sue you for pirating it if you can't own it anyways? I mean, it's just ridiculous. This kind of sentiment here, right here, is what causes people to steal your games. And Ubisoft, in my mind, is a studio that could disappear and I wouldn't be affected by it at all because I just don't like their games. But that's just me. Then we come over to Sony hikes the prices, and they're blaming Trump. I love this. They're using this universally across this globe of ours, or this flat earth, whatever you want to call it. And they're blaming Trump. That's kind of like they're raising it by 25% PlayStation 5 in all countries but America. But somehow Trump is to blame for this because none of the parts come from here. We don't make it here. And they're not importing and we're not exporting it from here. But somehow we're to blame for them raising prices in other countries. Make that make sense somehow. I don't know if you can. And then they're blaming Trump for this because every other country has tariffs. People are somehow maybe blind to this. I have no idea. This country was founded with tariffs. The one that I live in right now, America. Tariffs. We didn't even have taxes, which are illegal, by the way, by the Constitution, till 1913. It was tariffs that started this country, that and human trafficking and drugs. So we're going to blame tariffs, even though every single one of these countries that Europe, or countries, continents, whatever you want to call them, Europe, Middle East, Africa, and Oceania, they all have tariffs. They have tariffs on us. All of them do. But somehow we're the bad guy. It's kind of like eating oatmeal and then walking up to some stranger on the street and asking how the oatmeal tasted. Like, I just had oatmeal. How did that taste? It's just ridiculous. There's a clear thing that they're trying to do right now. Man, this is like blowing me out here. The sun is. They are just using any kind of tack that they're using, and they want to turn video game people against Trump. They want to do this against Trump. Meanwhile, 280,000 jobs were added. $7 trillion worth of infrastructure is being added to the country. We're not gonna focus on that. We're gonna focus on Orange Man bad, and somehow the tariffs. The reason that the PS5 in Australia is $829.95 is because of tariffs. Tariffs from us? No. It's tariffs from the country that made the damn thing. So to summarize in this video, they're going to charge you $90 for an 8-year-old game that you technically don't own, and they're going to just keep hiking prices whenever the hell they feel like it, and they're going to blame somebody in a different country for raising the prices in another country. So Japan essentially is blaming Orange Man bad for raising the price of items going to another country. Not the ones that they're claiming are causing the issue. They're not raising prices here. They're raising prices elsewhere. It's pathetic. Why do we keep buying into this industry? I really hope this industry goes into a crash and people vote with their dollars. You know, everybody's talking about how the Switch 2 is selling out in all these different countries. Is this actual customers buying this? Or is it scalpers buying it, hoping to double the profit that they are going to charge you because you just have to have it when it comes out? I really don't know. We won't know until we know, if we ever do know. But I do like what eBay is doing. eBay is really on top of things. They have kicked thousands of sellers off eBay because they've been charging already here for pre-orders that you can't even have. So where are these pre-orders coming from? So they're drop shipping them, which you're not allowed to do on eBay, from another country. And this is a hot mess. This is an obsession with an addiction that you have, and people are going to come in my comment section if this video gets shown to enough people, and they're going to be like, well, just stop being broke, man. Just don't be broke. Here's the thing. Like, you're not enriching your life buying a Switch 2. The point I made in another video is people who have money, they don't buy this stuff. If they do buy this stuff, they buy the most generic game. So when they do have 8,000 people over their house, you know, you have this game that people can play. I mean, I can't even tell you when I did eBay how many times I would go into wealthy neighborhoods. They would have like a Switch, but they would have like Wii Sports with it, or whatever, Switch Sports with it, whatever. Just a generic game. This is targeting people who are not trying to enrich their life. They're trying to forget it. They're trying to explore in an area where they finally have control over their life. And so these people are the ones that are absolutely addicted to this. People who are wealthy, who can't afford this, aren't buying it. It's the same way that Lamborghini was asked why they don't make advertisements for TV. Of course, man, this is just... I can't put this on auto because it's... And the reason Lamborghini doesn't run ads on TV is because people who buy Lamborghinis don't watch TV. So the people who buy this stuff are the people who are affected by this stuff. And the people who are affected by this stuff are the ones that are going to start struggling to buy this stuff because they don't have as much money as the people who could afford it, who aren't going to buy it because they have lives. And so when you do this sort of thing to them, now, granted, if that group, the group that really can afford this stuff but isn't going to buy it anyway, did start buying this stuff, and Ubisoft started playing these little games, the lawsuits would be crazy. And I kind of would love to see that, because this is just pathetic. I have never bought an Ubisoft game to my remembrance, and now I never will. They make crap games. I borrowed Assassin's Creed from somebody. It just seemed like fetch missions to me. Like, why do you enjoy this? And he's like, oh, it's a great game. I'm like, no, it's not. Here, you can have it back. It's just ridiculous. The whole thing is just absolutely ridiculous. This went from just a pastime that you could kind of do when you came home from work or came home from school into you're going to pay as much as we charge and you don't own it anyways. And then they're also going to play, we're going to raise the prices in other countries and blame America for it, even though nothing that they're selling came from here. The company's not located here. The parts aren't located here. The parts weren't built here. The raw material didn't come from here. The manufacturing wasn't done here. And somehow Orange Man Bad is to blame for prices going up in another country. Yeah, that all makes sense. Anyway, comments, questions. Talk to you in the next one. Peace.